Mr. Nava.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. And to the author of this bill, please let me express my apologies in that I rise in opposition to your bill. It couldn't be more clear, and particularly sitting as the chair of Banking and Finance, that California has been devastated, absolutely devastated with this mortgage meltdown. And the thousands upon thousands of people who have either lost their homes and been foreclosed upon or will be foreclosed upon. And the trauma that ripples through a community when those notices of default are served in neighborhoods, house after house after house. Why do I raise this now? Because we have a housing crisis. There are too few places for people of moderate and moderate means to live in the state of California. Those of you who often speak out in support of local control, talk to the League of California Cities. The League of California Cities, representing electeds throughout the other hundreds of cities in California, states that AB 761 interferes with locally adopted solutions. With one act, this bill sets aside local regulations that have been developed over decades to address issues within the community and balance the affordability of pad rentals with the overall profitability of the park itself. So your local electeds in your district don't like this bill. Those of you that have experience in financial markets and lending, the Bay Federal Credit Union argues that if AB 761 is enacted, it will, quote, be applied statewide, and it will devastate our industry's mobile home mortgage portfolios, very likely making it impossible for our industry to continue to offer affordable mobile home mortgages in California. That is not the result that we want with this bill. We don't want to make life more difficult for Californians. We want to try to create opportunities for Californians. And in many of the communities where you live, these mobile home parks and the rent control protection afforded to your residents, your voters, is all that stands between them and the street. All that stands between them and the street. I respectfully request a no vote.
Mr. Nava.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. Let me rise in support of the comments that have been made by my colleagues in opposition to this bill. And instead of repeating what they've already said, just let me suggest this is a slippery slope. And while the author has represented that it doesn't affect anybody who is presently protected under rent control, what it does, though, is create the opportunity for the loss of rent control. And each and every time there is one of those pads that falls out from under the protective umbrella of rent control, you change the price structure in such a way so that it then becomes unaffordable for anyone else. I live in a community, many of us live in communities, where land use policies make it darn near impossible to have any new development. Opposition to new development in many of our cities is strident and fierce. And as a consequence, there is always a shortage of affordable housing because nobody wants it in their backyard. This is not the direction we should take if we want to protect people who have rent control, if we want to ensure that there are affordable housing for people in the state of California. And I would once again ask members of this assembly to think about the seniors, think about the League of Cities, think about the other groups that support this measure and are asking for our help. Please vote no.